forget what you have, you're not as empowered. When you forget what you have, it will cost you ultimately. We do that in relationships all the time. I see this happen. It's like pandemic in marriages, right? It's like, oh, I married Miss Right or Mr. Charming, right? And you're like, man, I'm in love. They're amazing. And then a year or 2 years go by, now kids start happening, right? You're finding yourself in debt a little bit. Life is getting stressful. And now there's like arguments that happen, right? Because you married a human being, right? Not Mr. and Mrs. Perfect. They don't exist. Right? So then you marry this human being, and then now they're like hurting you, and you're holding on to like little offenses and stuff like that. And then what you loved about them starts to feel really, really far away. And then you're like, man, I'm holding on to bitterness, holding on to resentment. I can't believe they did this. I can't believe they said that. And what ends up happening is it develops a spiritual and relational cancer in your life. And you used to be in love and you remember the good days. And over time, the things you remembered starts to become a little foggy because now you're focusing on what you have now, what you have current, which is stress and frustration and resentment and bitterness. And then you find that the relationship is on the rocks. And you're like, how did we get here? Where's that person I married? Well, you forgot that you had that person you married. Because you see, what we focus on, we grow. What we starve dies. And what ends up happening often is you forget how wonderful they were, what you appreciated about them, what you celebrated about them. And now the focus of my attention are the things I don't like, or the frustrations, the unresolved conflicts in our lives. And as those things get bigger, I feel further and further away from the person I used to feel so blessed by. And we get distracted. This happens to all of us in life. You know, we live in this culture, in this world, right? Social media, the media, you know, no matter where you turn, we live in a society that says to be happy, you need more. To be happy, you know what, you just need what they have, right? And some of us feel that. You're on social media, you're scrolling through Instagram, TikTok. I mean, the more you're on that, there's like this correlation, right? The more I'm on that, the more money I'm going to spend on Amazon, right? I think we're all friends, right? And it's like, man, they went out to eat again. I got to go to that restaurant. Oh, they're on vacation again. I got to go there. And then it's like, you know what? There's more in this life. There's more than just being satisfied with what I have. And maybe that's a truth, right? I mean, there is more in this life. But the lie in that is the more my focus is outside, the less I appreciate what's inside. The more my focus is on what I don't have, the more I want someone else's life, and the less I'm satisfied with my own life. Then the things I once prayed for, the things I was once blessed by, I no longer feel blessed by because I took my eyes off of them, I forgot about them, and all as I focus in on is what's missing in my life. It's what's missing in my life. And that's how easy it actually happens, because the reality is we are social creatures. And what happens around us socially, if we're not paying attention, subconsciously, we're like sheep just following the guy in front of us. And if the world is bombarding us with, man, you don't have enough, you need this to be happy, we find that we're chasing people and relationships and things and money and stuff and career. And then when we get there, it's like, I celebrated, and when the celebration wears off, even that didn't do it for you. I find myself with more, but unhappy. So then we buy more. Debt increases. I have more, but I'm less happy. We're social creatures. And so what does a wise person do? You got to be in the know to say, this is where the world is pulling me. And if I allow myself to follow the guy in front of me and not be different and not work on self-care and not practice gratitude and appreciation and look at the things I actually have, I'm always going to look at my empty hand instead of my full hand.